Okay, I'm going to go against my own rules and kind of go off script right now. This is fantastic. Looking back on what happened earlier this year, it was really hard to believe we would ever get here, okay? Just a big round of applause for getting to this point. Good evening and welcome to Baccalaureate for the class of 2021. I am Rob Bowman, principal of Floyd Central High School. Our baccalaureate ceremony gives the senior class an opportunity to reflect on the past 13 years of education and look ahead to the future. Class, as you reflect over your education, think about the legacy you have left those that follow. You have continued the tradition of community service and you have distinguished yourselves in the arts and athletics and in academics despite unprecedented, and I said I wasn't going to use that word, but how could I not? Unprecedented obstacles. Consequently, I believe that I speak for the faculty and staff here at FC when I say that you are well prepared for whatever might lie ahead. Before we start, I'd like to offer special thanks to Mrs. Hampton and a cappella choir for sharing their talents, as well as to Mrs. Yerke for her upcoming address. Also, thank you to Dr. Velker and Mrs. Johnson for organizing the entrance and exit of the seniors. And I speak from experience, that is very, very, very hard. And we'll get better at it. We didn't rehearse, it was just kind of directing traffic, but graduation, we'll have it down. And thank you and congratulations to the graduates. Graduation is one of the few rites of passages that we still have in our society, but it is one to be celebrated for years of hard work and much earned success. Before stepping away from the podium, I would like to leave you with a thought or two. There are many reasons people become successful and live joyful lives. It could be due to talent, determination, a kind disposition, perhaps even luck. But I believe there is one reason that you all share, one common reason that brings you here and to the ceremonies in the coming weeks. It will come across as sentimental, but this is a sentimental occasion. You're all here because someone loved you. Someone took the time to give you attention and nurture you in your most formative and vulnerable years. And because of that, please take some time over the next several weeks to show your appreciation to those who have made a difference in your journey, whether it be a parent, family friend, a teacher, staff member, or a classmate. I also encourage you to spend some time with those not so close friends of yours, those just on the periphery of your life. The one person that made you laugh every day in pre-cal, if that's possible, or your one of your group mates in the Socratic seminar. Over the years, you'll likely keep in touch with close friends, but lose contact with others you see daily. Take it from this old man. You really will miss those people. Finally, I want to thank every parent, guardian, grandparent, relative, and friend here tonight for the years of love and support you have given these graduates. Now I would like to introduce Anna Cobb, the secretary of the senior class, who will open the ceremony this evening as well as introduce our guest speaker.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Floyd Central Baccalaureate Ceremony. My name is Anna Cobb, and I am the current senior class secretary. After a very unique year, it is such a privilege for us all to be together now. It has taken us many years to get to this point, but we certainly did not do it on our own.
So what's the difference?
On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to thank parents, families, and all of the teachers, coaches, administrators, and staff at Floyd Central for all the support they have given us. It is your guidance and kindness that has molded us into the people we are today. As human beings, we are always asking, what's next? But let's take a moment to bask in the greatness that we have accomplished thus far and let that be the fuel for the next chapter of our lives. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." We must honor her words and those who have set the foundation for our lives by treating others with kindness, striving for excellence, and owning our future. There are a lot of questions and uncertainties at this time of our lives, but with that comes exciting times and new opportunities that we must take advantage of. We would also like to thank the Floyd Central Choir Director and Choir, Angela Hampton, for their wonderful performance tonight. In the coming weeks, I hope you all will attend the remaining senior events, Class Day, Class Night, and graduation. It is not every day that you can take a moment to reflect these milestones alongside your peers. It is an honor for me to introduce one of my personal favorite and most helpful mentors to the stage next. Please welcome our counselor, Ms. Yerke, as our guest speaker tonight.
It is a privilege to be here with you this evening. It is truly an honor to be standing here before you when I think of all of those who have spoken here before me. Before I begin, I want to thank Dr. Willman for sending out an email about 3 weeks ago to let you know that I would be tonight's guest speaker, and including that I would be uplifting and inspirational. Since that email, some coworkers have walked by my office many times to tease me, asking if I could inspire them for the moment or give them words of wisdom. So thank you for that. In all honesty, I look out into this audience and I am just blown away by the incredible young adults that you have become. Each of you inspire me daily, and my hope is that I can truly inspire you for the next few minutes. Graduates, many years from now, you will not remember who spoke here today, but my hope is for you to remember what you heard here today, that you matter and you have a purpose. Throughout my childhood and into high school, I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I considered entering the business world, but I always came back to the thought of being a teacher. I guess you could say this is the purpose that I was working towards in my life. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, we had indoor recess because it was raining outside. My friends and I gathered by the chalkboard where I insisted we play school, and I was the teacher writing the assignments for the children on the board. I indeed went on to college to earn my undergraduate degree in elementary education, and I was fortunate enough to begin teaching right out of college, and I did love every minute. I found the purpose that I was meant for. Until a young lady walked into my classroom one morning and was crying. I quickly greeted her, and I had her come back to the back of the classroom with me in hopes to give her some privacy. When I asked her what was wrong, she told me that her dad just told her before she left to come to school that morning that he would not be there when she got home from school that day. He had decided to leave her mom and file for divorce. While I knew I needed to get my lesson started in the classroom for the day, all I could focus on was that young lady. We were on a 7-period day, just like we are here at FC, and I told her to check back in with me between class periods as the day went on. It was in the days following that I could not stop thinking about her and other students that may be going through things that I had no idea about. I began to think more about my purpose. I had never considered becoming a counselor before, but the thought began to weigh heavy on my mind. And after much thought and prayer, I decided to get my master's degree in school counseling. While teachers are one of the most important jobs in the world, and we need teachers, I realized that my purpose was changing. Each day, I come to work with an agenda and a purpose for the day. However, when I see that a student needs me, or sends me an email that morning asking me to talk, my purpose for the day may change. My dad was a super important person in my life, and he impacted me in many ways. He would say, if one person has breathed easier today because I have lived, then I have been a success. And his words sink deep within me, and as a counselor, I embrace these words for my daily purpose. So many times when people talk about purpose in life, it is often referred to as a future thing. One day I will be this, one day I'm going to do that, or one day God's going to use me to do something. Purpose is usually spoken of as a futuristic thought that we discover down the road. I am guilty of suggesting this idea of purpose too. However, what we tend to forget is that we have purpose in every moment of every single day. You do have purpose today. I have had the privilege of following a story over the past year of a young man who made a difference in my life, even though I never met him personally. Some of you may actually know him, as he is well known in Indiana through the swimming community, and I know that some of you at FC have swam against him over the last year or two, or over the last several years. His name is Chase Smith. At the age of 13, Chase was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma cancer. He fought hard and went into remission. And during his remission, Chase set his eyes on the Olympics. He was amazing. He was a powerhouse in the pool. However, during his senior year of high school at the age of 18, his cancer came back and it returned with a vengeance. This news came last April, and Chase had just gotten home from a trip to Riley Children's Hospital. This was the day doctors told him how far his Ewing sarcoma cancer had spread. The day the doctors gave Chase their best estimate of how much time he had left to live, 3 to 5 months. On the ride home from Indy, Chase started thinking about how he would say those words. He had very important people that he needed to tell. 2 of them being Joey and Sam, they were his teenage cousins, who he called his little brothers. He invited them over and he went out to wait for them on the deck. The way Chase told his cousins that his cancer was terminal is heart-wrenching, but it is a cherished memory for their family. He started by talking to them about what the doctor had said and the idea that he might only have a few months to live. He wanted the boys to know that he wasn't afraid, and he knew where he would be after he had died. And that even if it was overwhelming or scary for us, that he would trust God's plan. He talked to them about how he felt about dying, and that he wanted the boys to also rejoice with him and not be mad at God. He told them he could understand why we might be mad at God, but he also knew that it wouldn't hurt this much to lose someone they love unless we were able to love so much because of God. He kept reminding others that it was only because God blessed us with special relationships that we feel so much love for one another. The way he comforted others while he had to be scared and hurting inside is amazing. He would tell his cousins that he would always be with them, and he promised that even when he was gone, he would always be with them. He said, especially when you're swimming, I want you to feel me with you and know that I am always with you. As they continued to talk, Chase reassured them that they could always ask questions and talk to him about anything. He wanted them to be comfortable and know he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid of dying. Chase decided that his daily purpose was going to be to impact the legacy that he would leave behind, and that his legacy would live on. At the time, Chase also had a high school sweetheart named Sadie. Sadie is actually the daughter of a friend of mine that I grew up with. His name is Jeff, and he spent a lot of time with our family. Jeff is an incredible father who was there for Sadie when they heard the news that Chase was heading into the hardest fight of his life. Without any reservation, Chase and Sadie talked and knew that regardless of the time they had left together, they wanted to get married and spend every single day that they could together. Both Chase and Sadie's families completely agreed with this decision, and a wedding was planned in just 4 days. My husband's sitting over there, and he knows I could not plan my wedding in 4 days. It took quite a bit of time. After the wedding ceremony, the focus was still quickly turned to treatment plans, visits to Cincinnati and to Riley Children's Hospital. But Chase and Sadie together began to determine, what is our purpose? As Chase had a purpose and he focused on the Olympics in the future, he realized that he had a purpose in each day that he lived. Of course, it is good to plan, to have dreams, to work towards goals in the future. You need these things. We talk about these things in my office and in other counselors' office and with parents and family. Planning ahead for those things are super important, but what I learned from Chase, a young man sitting where you are right now, just a year ago, is that we must have purpose each day that we wake up. Chase decided that his daily purpose was to impact the legacy that he would leave behind, and that his legacy, again, would live on. Those around Chase will know the impact he made in the lives of those who knew him and those who haven't even met him. Chase has a Bible verse that he calls his life verse. Even you shall faint and be weary, and young men shall fall exhausted. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, and they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:31. Chase lived past his 3 to 5 month timeline. Chase believed that God already had given him a miracle, that he had extra time to live out his purpose. And the perspective that God gives us to make each day count. He led by his own example, and the rest of the world feels compelled to rise up to the standard and to live out our daily purpose. The end of September was 5 months, and Chase and Sadie's love story should have ended. Chase forged ahead. He went to Florida. He met and visited with Tim Tebow. He continued to coach a swim team of young men at Indian Creek near Indianapolis. He was here for another Christmas season. It wasn't easy. He was tired. He felt pain. He felt his purpose, though, was to pour into the boys that he was able to coach. It meant to the world to those on his team. When Chase married Sadie, he told the Indy Star that he wanted to tell his story because he believed it showed God's love. The Indy Star actually documenting many steps of his journey over the past year that you can actually look back up if you're interested. Many people did not understand that. How could Chase not be mad at God? And how could he believe in God when he was so sick? He told others more than once, "The only reason I want to share my story is so that other people know how much God loves them and that God loves me, even if I have cancer. And I may go to be with him sooner than other people, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't love me." Chase passed away this past Easter Sunday. It was almost a year after his diagnosis. He gained his eternal life, but his legacy and his purpose will live on through Sadie, Joey, Sam, and many of us. Be a person of value, not simply a successful person. While striving to achieve your dreams in college or the workforce, wherever you go, live each day with purpose. Be intentional in each day, in each moment. Serve others. Give hope to someone. Contribute. Volunteer. Be part of the solution. Simply smile at someone walking by, but do more than just show up. Open your eyes to see your purpose in spite of your circumstances. Every experience, every relationship, your parents, your family, your friends, your faith, are all creating a purpose for every day. Tim Keller said, "Nothing is more important than to learn how to maintain a life of purpose in the midst of painful adversity." And ask yourself, if not me, then who? Commit yourself to change the world for better each and every day. Rick Warren said, "The only really happy people are those who have learned to serve with a purpose." Again, be committed. Be passionate about something and find your purpose for each day. Serve. Look to the needs of others. Make the most of every opportunity. When you leave Floyd Central, some of you will go home. Some of you will continue your education here or someplace else. Some of you will find work, hopefully in your chosen field, and you will make money. Some will enter our military forces. You will scatter all over America, and perhaps all over the world. Remember, wherever you are, that you are not only an educated person, you are a person who has a purpose. Life is not only about you and me. So I ask you to commit to finding your purpose for each day. Be of use. Contact someone. Watch and learn. Be an advocate for unconditional kindness. Choose hope over despair. Optimism over pessimism. Caring over withdrawal and indifference. Help create a more peaceful world. Impact your neighbors and your communities. This impact is so much greater than any title you can carry, any powerful position or authority that you may have, and more than any money that you will ever make. Today can be a new beginning to find your purpose. Today is the day. Now is the time. I now say to you, Floyd Central High School graduates, class of 2021, you are immensely talented and you are highly gifted. You have been equipped. Now go forth and live out your purpose. Thank you.
All right, before I call Bernadette Mueller up here and we close the ceremony down, I'd like to thank once again Ms. Hampton and the choir. Fantastic job there, so thank you for your performance. Best choir in the state of Indiana. I'm a little biased, but if there was a state finals today, we would have won that. Of course, listen to me. I mean, this is Baccalaureate. We're supposed to be nice and inviting. I appreciate it. But anyway, fantastic job there. I would like to thank Mrs. Yerke for her speech there. That was fantastic. That's a very difficult thing to do. She knocked it out of the park. I don't regret the way I worded it to everybody. I mean, I'm not going to say Mrs. Yerke's going to come and speak and she'll do okay. You know, I have to pump it up a little bit there, and so definitely very indicative of her. So I'm not a liar. She was uplifting and inspiring. There's no question about it. Okay, real quick, seniors, when you leave, once Bernadette finishes her closing, you guys will exit the same way you came in, okay? But the front row will go first, sort of like a wedding, okay? They'll just go first and on back, so you guys in the back will wait until the people in front of you will go. So at this time, I'd like to call Bernadette Mueller, treasurer of the senior class, to close.
class of 2021. Thank you all for coming together with our class for one of the last times. On behalf of my class, I would like to thank everyone again who has helped or supported in any way over the last 4 years. I would also like to give another round of applause for our amazing guest speaker, Ms. Yerke. She has not only been a mentor and a role model to me, but someone who has instilled in me the confidence to strive for my goals. We are so grateful to have an amazing community of leaders and role models that Floyd Central provides for our student body. The hard work and dedication this community and family has shown is inspirational and nothing but phenomenal. Standing here looking out at my class is amazing given the hardships that have been thrown our way this past year. It is inspiring to have watched us all go through this strange and treacherous year that we had to call our senior year and make it out on top. We've been together as a whole for the last 4 years, and I think we should all look around and be indebted to have had this experience with people sitting next to us. I ask only great things for my class of 2021 as we begin our journey beyond Floyd Central to our new beginnings. We would again like to thank the Floyd Central Choir and Choir Director, Angela Hampton, for their performance tonight. And thank you all for being here and celebrating our class and the many things we should be grateful for.